Welcome to the first FL Studio 21 intermediate tutorial. If you are watching this video, then just know that you have passed the beginner's stage. And if you haven't, or you just stumbled into this video, then you have to check out our FL Studio 21 beginner's guide so that you won't be confused or overwhelmed with this stage. The link is in the description. In this video, we are going to be talking about one of the most important topics in music production, which is equalization. You must have been hearing about EQs. Well, in this video, we are going to talk about it. So what is equalization in music production? Equalization is a tool that is used to cut or boost specific frequency due to any reason, be it muddiness, harshness. It can also be used to shape the components of your song so that they fit together and also achieve a balance mix, which is very important. For example, you can use an EQ to remove the low end from this guitar that we don't need, and some of the highs to reduce the harshness. Or we can remove the lows from this piano because it's competing with the bass. So, there are 4 types of EQs. We have the parametric EQ, which is one of the most versatile EQ for both surgical and broad changes. Then we have the semi-parametric EQ, which is great if you want to apply a broad EQ to a general frequency band. Next, we have the graphic EQ, and then a dynamic EQ. In this video, we are going to be using a parametric EQ, and we are going to be using the FL Studio Parametric EQ too. If you learn how to use this EQ, you won't have a problem using other EQ plugins because it doesn't matter the plugin. As long as you know what you are doing, then you are good to go. The EQ divides the frequency into bands that can be adjusted independently. And there are 4 major bands, which is the sub, the low end, the mid-range, and the high end. And these parts are divided into subparts, as you can see here, and this may look different depending on the EQ plugin that you are using. Now these are the main controls of a parametric EQ, and they are used to control each bands. You can move them up or down to either cut or boost a specific band of frequency. This may vary depending on the type of EQ. It may be slides or knobs, but they all do the same thing. You can also use these to search for unwanted frequencies and cut them. It's called subtractive EQ. If you right-click on any of them, you will see this options, where you can reset the band, choose a filter type, maybe a high-pass or a low-pass filter. You can choose the order, how steep you want it to be, and here you can choose a key. You can move them up and down with this, and here you can make them smaller with this knob. If you click here, you can see presets like an old telephone, a radio, and so on. If you have made a mess, you can click here to compare. If you are using other EQ plugins, you can also see this controls and more, depending on how advanced. For example, the Pro Q3 plugin, which is a paid plugin, has more controls for more advanced needs. Before you start using EQs in your music, these are the things that you should know. Number 1. EQs are used for cutting, boosting, and shaping. So, to get the best result, use different instances of EQ plugins for different tasks. For example, have an EQ for cutting, and have another one for boosting. This gives you more controls. Number 2, bad equalization can affect your sound greatly, so whether you're boosting, cutting, or shaping sounds, make sure to use your ears while mixing. And don't just cut or boost a certain area because you saw someone doing it. You must have a reason. So, if you can't hear bad frequencies yet, you can make a tiny curve like this and search around for frequencies that sound very bad and reduce them. Always be careful with this to avoid destroying your mix. That is all for the basics of equalization. If you want to learn more like how to EQ a vocal or an instrument, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment on what you want to see next.